What's up, everybody? It's Ken Tripp from eXp Realty with the Gold Bar Group. Today is a very important video. I wanted to make sure that everybody out there, if you're considering a brokerage change, if you're considering getting your license, if you're considering jumping to eXp and you're looking at what group should I join, what sponsor should I have, there's a lot of different groups out there at eXp. Not all groups are created equal. Our group is a group of top producers. It's a group of agents who are still selling. It's a group of agents who have proven track records. If you're getting your license in this market, or if you're in this market and you're just not getting done what you want to get done, you're not hitting the levels you want to hit, it's hyper important to make sure that you've got the tools and the mentorship and the coaching around you. And that's what our group is going to offer. So let's jump right in. All right. What's up, everybody? Ken Tripp here with the Gold Bar Group with eXp, and I'm here with my mentor and business partner, Ricky Carruth. Just wanted to do a video today talking about our brokerage and our group and why it's so important when you're picking a brokerage and you're switching into you're picking a brokerage, especially as a sponsor, that you align yourself with the right group, you align yourself with the right people to make sure that you're getting what you need to grow your business, especially in a market like this. It's getting tougher and tougher as we go. We want to make sure that you've got agents around you that are top producers, that are still selling, that are actively skilled, so you can make sure that you're getting the mentorship and the coaching you need. And I keep getting a lot of questions, a lot of DMs about why I joined eXp and why I picked this group. And to me, that's the most important part. Not every group at eXp is created equal. Obviously, eXp's got its great advantages, but a lot of those groups are not headed up by people who are still selling. They're not agents that are still on the ground. They're not in the trenches day to day, seeing what's out there and able to pass that on to the agents in the group. So we want to make sure that if you are considering eXp, you're considering a group, you're looking at groups that are headed up by agents who are still succeeding. So obviously, that's why I joined this group. That's why I've got, for a long time, the number one RE/MAX agent, I assume number one now in your area for eXp, Ricky Carruth, who was doing 100 deals a year, $1 million agent, top producer. I wanted to make sure by aligning with Ricky, being a business partner of Ricky, that I got to learn and I got to be around someone who's selling, who's successful, so I could take my business to the next level and I can pass it on down and I can give our group the knowledge it needs, the mentorship it needs from Ricky, from myself to grow. So we want to make sure everybody's going to be able to grow and scale and actually sell and navigate these markets. And it was important to be part of a group that was going to allow us to do that. So, I mean, I don't think you need any introduction. People know who you are. If they've been anywhere on social media, YouTube, you're all over the place. But maybe just a quick intro, who you are, what you've done, and why you switched to eXp, why it was so important for you.
Yeah, man, good to be here and good to see you, and proud of everything that you've done. No, I got in real estate in 2002. I was 20. I been with 7 different brokerages. I was with RE/MAX for 10 years. And every time I switched brokerages, it was because where I kind of plateaued out with what I could learn or what I felt like my opportunities were. I kind of hit a ceiling in terms of income. I was kind of just making the same amount every year. Same thing with RE/MAX. I got to where I was making $1 million and I just made $1 million every year. There really wasn't any more upside there in terms of what I could learn, because there's 2 parts of it. There's hitting a ceiling on your income, and then there's hitting a ceiling on what you feel like you can learn. Every company I went there because there were agents doing more than me and that were more successful than I was. And that's where I wanted to be, around agents that were more successful than me, so that I could learn from them and get to the next level. When you stay at brokerages that don't really have high producers, or even if you do, if you're super ambitious, you're going to work your way to the top. And then what else is there? What else does that company really offer you in terms of, growing any more personally? RE/MAX was the number one company in my market. I always wanted to be there because it was how I had all the best agents. Mm-hmm. And I went there when I kind of hit a ceiling at the company before that. And I was like, okay, here, I'm going to go for it. And went there, and I was there for 10 years, and I became the best in the state with RE/MAX and best in my whole market and everything else. And I really truly believe that being around those agents that were in the number one office in my market helped me catapult to being the number one, because I was like, okay, these guys and these ladies and gentlemen, they're humans just like I am. They're walking around. I see them. I see basically what they do every day, and they're not doing anything that I can't do even better. And so when you're around people that are doing more than you, then it becomes interesting, because you start to humanize these really top producers, and you feel like, well, I can do that. We all have the same amount of time every day. So that was the thing when I came here. It was, I kind of hit a ceiling there. Could I have continued to make more and more? Yes, because prices kept going up. The average price continued to go up. I would have continued to sell 100 deals there. And, I could have doubled my production, or at least increased it. At this point, I probably would have increased it maybe 70%, 50, 60%, just because of prices. Still doing the 100 deals a year, 2 deals a week. And just because of prices, I would have been making more money, but I wasn't really developing. I wasn't really learning anything new. I was just selling 100 properties. I have this really big desire to become better, and if I'm not learning and adapting and doing new things and venturing into new endeavors and markets and expanding my personal development, then I kind of like start going backwards. And I feel this massive pressure on my shoulders. And when I feel that massive pressure, it's time to go and do something different. I felt it 6 times in my career, every time I switched brokerages, and I felt it where I was with Remax. So that was the first thing, was I maxed out what I could learn where I was. And I was like, all right, let me go start my own brokerage, because that's kind of the level that I was. But then as I really dug deep into what eXp actually is, it's not a brokerage per se, like Keller Williams or Remax or a traditional brokerage. It's not a place you hang your license and pay a fee. It's actually a platform that you take and use their infrastructure to build your company and your business at whatever capacity you want. If you want to be a single agent, an assistant, get assistant. You want to have a local team, mega team, expansion team into other markets, brokerage, local brokerage, state brokerage, national brokerage, global brokerage. You can literally build out anything you want using their infrastructure. They have the infrastructure in place. And the cool thing was, behind it all was, you get equity. I've got a couple $100,000 worth of equity. I've only paid the company $65,000 in fees.
Amazing.
I just hit Icon for the 4th straight year, which is where they give you your cap back in equity. Yep. And so I was like, all right, well, I could go start my own company, have a boutique local brokerage, get an office, bring on agents. I'm liable for all the agents. I'm dealing with all the broker responsibilities. Mm-hmm. And what is the company actually worth? Well, those boutique brokerages aren't worth anything.
Right.
So now I actually have something that is worth something, 200 grand. I've only paid 65 in. I've still got my local office. I opened up a branch office locally. I've got 40 agents out of the, I've got about 850 total in the organization around the globe. I've got about 40 of those here locally. And I probably would have had, 15 to 20 if it were my own brokerage, because I couldn't offer these agents what eXp offers them in terms of stock and support and collaboration and culture and everything else. So I still got my local office like I was going to have. I have more agents than I would have. I'm not liable or have any expenses for any of these agents. I have more equity than I would have had if I would have started my own company.
And that's only going up, right? That equity, that stock is just starting to take off. Like that equity is going to grow.
Well, over time it will, right? It goes up, it goes down. We're dealing with uncertain, economic headwinds, with interest rates.
That's some gravy for sure.
Well, it's just a bonus that you don't get anywhere else. You feel appreciated. Like you actually feel like instead of just at a traditional brokerage, you're paying splits, you're paying fees. It's the same thing as being a renter.
Yeah.
You're paying the monthly expenses for a place to live, but the money, you don't get anything in return except for the place to live. Over here, you pay the fees and splits, you get a place to live, but you also are building equity. So it's the same thing as owning a house. You own a house, you pay the monthly expenses, you get a place to live, but you're also building equity in that property. Same thing here.
Yeah.
So working at a traditional brokerage is a lot like being a renter, and working at a company like eXp where you build equity is more like being a homeowner versus a renter. And so, where the stock goes is all speculative. Who knows how everything plays out in the end? It's the stock market. It's valuations. There's a lot of things, a lot of variables, but I'll tell you, over the next 5-10 years, I'm very bullish on the company because they've been one of the only profitable brokerages through the market shift.
Yep.
Anywhere was the only other one that was that I've seen that's profitable real estate company. And that's all real estate companies, not just brokerages, Zillow, Redfin, Compass, Remax, all of them that are especially publicly traded. We don't know all of the companies' profitability, but Open Door, OfferPad, all of them. eXp was the only profitable real estate company in 2023 through this massive shift. Yep. Anywhere finally became profitable, I believe, in the third quarter. They made some money, but these other companies were profitable before the shift, like Remax and so forth, and now they're not.
Right. No,
So
for
that
sure.
says a
There's
lot.
yeah.
That says a lot about the company. When you own
Yep.
the stock, you own several different companies:
Mhm.
Success Magazine, Virabella, Showcase IDX, Zoocasa,
Yep.
and we're in like 30 countries. The stock is a very well diversified stock. It's not just you just own a brokerage. You own a
Right.
lot of different things. You know, Apple isn't worth 2 trillion because of the iPhone. They're worth 2 trillion because of other products
Mhm.
and other companies they bought and
100%.
acquired.
So one of the things I know, circling back to when you were with Remax and you were plateauing, you were leveling up, you were always trying to grow, you're trying to be the number one agent in the office. One of the things I noticed when I was at Remax and I was at other brokerages was when you were trying to ask those other agents in the office how to grow or what to do or trying to hit that next level, you're always asking the agents better than you,
Yeah.
trying to learn from them. And 9 times out of 10, they don't want to help you. Or if they did help you, it would be in little bits because they don't have time, right? They're trying to do their own thing. They're trying to grow, but mainly because you're their competition, right? I'm trying to learn from the agent in my office. I'm trying to beat him and get to where he's at. He doesn't want to give me, the blueprint. He doesn't want to give me the
Yeah.
advice to get there. Where I found at eXp, and that's part of what we've built with the group with Gold Bar, is that we get to learn. Like we've got the team calls every week, right? We've got eXp University, we've got all the eXp stuff that gets offered, but especially with our stuff with Gold Bar, the platform where we've got daily classes, the once a week team calls with you, we get to learn from agents from all over North America, all over the globe who are doing things. So if I want to learn how to go from 5 deals to 15, there's going to be someone I can learn from. 15 to
Yeah.
50, up to 100, whatever. If I want to, be my own, anything, there's going to be somebody in the group who's done it, right? And that's what I found was a huge differentiator. Did you notice that when you came over? Was that a big reason for you?
Yeah. So I was already coaching agents for free before
Right.
eXp, long before eXp, like 4 or 5 years before I, moved over. And I saw this as yet another platform and opportunity to help agents for free, where now I can spend more time. Everybody that comes on board, I sit down with them, help them come up with a new business plan based on what they're trying to do, what's been working for them up to that point, spend some time with them, do the weekly calls. They call, text me anytime for any reason. And I just try to spend as much time as I can with the agents in the organization as kind of an extra layer of continuing on the mission here to help reduce the failure rate.
Right.
But yes, at Remax, there would be some agents that would help a little bit, like if
Sure.
they had time type thing or,
Yeah.
answer a couple questions or whatever. But you could tell the vibe wasn't, they're ready to take the shirt off their back for you and,
Right.
go to the ends of earth. Where over here, even agents that aren't in your organization, like when you go to EXPCon and stuff and you collaborate with agents that aren't even, you know, directly in your organization up or down line, there's those agents are willing to share so much
Yeah.
with you. And there's a little bit of connection there because we all own the company. The
Right.
agents own half the company and the corporation owns the other half.
Right. We want to see it do well, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not only that, it's the type of agent that this attracts. It attracts the type of agent that wants to help and support people
Right.
regardless of what's in it for them.
Yeah, I couldn't believe the collaboration. It's much different that at eXpCon than it was anywhere else. Like it's a totally different thing compared to other conventions I've been to. And just the vibe.
Yeah.
Agents are so much more willing to collaborate, willing to help you and give you sort of the blueprint to get you where you want to get. It's amazing.
That's what's really cool about it. And that's another thing I loved about it. So once I got in, it was about 6 months where every week I learned something new about the company, where I was like, wow, every week there was a wow moment where I learned something new about the company
Yep.
that I didn't know before. Little feature, this, that, the other, how we get paid, you know, different communication points to different people in the company. The
Mm-hmm.
fact that the founders and CEOs and people at the top are willing to talk, to the
Right.
agents at the bottom. You don't really get that many other places. There's a platform called Workplace where in the palm of
Amazing.
your hand, you're connected to every single agent in the world that's EXP and everybody at corporate right there. You literally can communicate with anybody in the company right there. You don't have that at other brokerages where you have direct contact with every single person at corporate, every single employee of the company, every single agent. I don't know of another brokerage where that exists. And there's groups like Facebook groups on there with referrals going back and forth,
Yep.
different groups with similar interest and commercial and this, that, like, state groups, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
That was really big for me, that how easily you're, collaborating and communicating with everyone within the company. And if you need anything, it's like right there.
And even more so within our group, right? Within Gold Bar, within the group with you, like there's even a subsection of that that I
Yeah.
find is fantastic. Like, it's easy to get referrals out. I know when I give out a referral, I'm dealing with an agent who knows what he's doing, who's learning from all of us, who's probably someone I've seen at one of the events, right? I know you have an event coming up in December. It's going to be someone who I've connected with, who I can trust is going to get the job done. It's going to be someone, you know, within our group who's going to be able to take care of that client. And that's huge compared to what it used to be. And I mean, yeah, everybody knows the advantages to eXp for the most part now. And if they don't, like, you know, it's got the 80-20 split. It's only got a $16,000 cap. You've got the chance to get that cap back as an icon. It's cloud-based. Yeah. It's got over 50 hours of live training every single week. That stuff, I mean, it's fantastic. eXp has been crushing it with that. All this other stuff we're talking about, workplace, the connectivity, the collaboration, but more so within our group, right? Everybody's got that when they join eXp, but it's like, who am I going to align with? How am I going to learn? And looking at what's coming up over the next 18 to 24 months, what the market's going to do. Can agents survive? Can they thrive? Can they break through? I think it's important to make sure you're aligned with a group that's actually selling and has still got boots on the ground and is still learning and still collaborating and still sharing all their knowledge. So I think it's important, you know, to be part of a group like that. That's what I think is our biggest advantage as part of Gold Bar, is learning from someone like you who's been there, been a top producer, as well as myself, who's now I've hit, you know, 500K GCI for 3-4 years in a row. I'll be icon for the 3rd year in a row this year as well. I'm able to pass on all that knowledge, and agents are able to sort of take that from guys like Juan, guys like you, guys like me, put it all together and make sure that they get through into 24, 25. What do you think is like the most important thing, you know, agents need to think about when they're looking at a sponsor, when they're looking at a group as part of eXp?
Well, I mean, fill them out. You know what I mean? I think they need to go with who they feel in their gut is going to be the best fit for them, that they feel like actually going to help them. There's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of different options.
Yeah.
So I think set a call up with me, set a call up with Ken, set a call up with, you know, whoever you want, and have meetings and try to make the best decision, gather all the data and try to make the best decision possible, because once you make that decision, you cannot unmake that decision.
Right.
You can't switch later. You have to do your best to make the best decision that very first time. And when you come on board, you know, pick a group that has a great onboarding infrastructure, right? For not only you, but the agents you're going to bring on board later, right? Somebody that has done what you want to do. You know, that, I mean, I'm talking about for myself. There's definitely groups out there of agents who not only don't sell, but never sold.
Right.
There's guys with big groups who not only, you know, don't sell, but they never did. They never were top producers and stuff. Yeah. And that's fine. If you connect with those guys, awesome. I'm not trying to sway anybody to choose our group or choose that group or whatever. Right. I think, but if it were me, I would want somebody that has been there, has done that, and has a track record of helping people. We've doubled, triple, quadruple, 5X, 6X agents volume the next year coming over, because I'm really good at dissecting people's business, finding those inefficiencies and helping them plug those holes, giving them a routine they can actually visualize how this day-to-day plan is going to get them where they want to be in 5 years. We've seen it over and over and over again.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, it's almost a weekly occurrence. I'm even one of them. I was, you know, 30, 35, 40 deals a year, couldn't crack 50, and then joined the group. Literally the first year I got through 50, and it's been like that ever since. It's fantastic to watch what you can do once you're aligned with the right group. And yeah, you're totally on board. You can pick whatever sponsor you want. You can go to whatever group you like, but you know, you want to make sure, I think, especially in the next 2 years with this market shifts going the way it's going, you got to be a skill-based agent. You got to be tied in with people who know what they're doing and agents that have been there before who can actually help you. Otherwise, That's
the thing. I went through 2000. I got in 2002. I lost everything in 2005. I got out of the business in 2005. Yeah. And then I got back in 2008. And that was really when I built the true foundation of my career. Up to that point, it was just smoke and mirrors. You know, I made $1 million, lost $1 million, didn't really know what was going on. The second time around, I understood how market shifts and cycles work and how to take advantage of them. And that's why our group has done really well. Our production was $1 billion last year, and it's $1 billion this year. We didn't see a down play. Yep. We didn't drop our volume through this shift. We're going to hit $1 billion this year. So I find that interesting, and I want to say the reason is because I've been there, done that, and I've kind of transferred those ideas and lessons throughout the group.
So that's amazing. I mean, that's exactly what we've been talking about. And that's kind of the, the important thing that I've been stressing when you're coming into a group is making sure that, look, you've got the track record, you're battle tested, and the overall group benefits from it. We haven't the biggest downturn in the last 10 years, and we are staying ahead, which to me, if you're even over the last couple of years, you're ahead. So look, if I don't want to keep you, Ricky, I appreciate your time. If you're looking to book a call, if you're looking to join this group, or if you want to explore your options and see if maybe this is the right group for you, if you're looking for a sponsor with eXp, click the link below. I'm going to have a Calendly link where you can connect with Ricky and I, book a Zoom call, chat with us, see if this is going to be the right fit for you, see if we can get you to the level you want to get, and see if we're going to be a great fit together. So go ahead and click that link below if that's something you're interested in. Ricky and I will chat with you further. Any last minute thoughts, Ricky? Any last minute advice for agents out there?
Well, we're really in the getting to the mid Q4 2023. I don't know how long this video is going to live on the internet, but right now, Q4, this is the moment to really go all in on the market. 2024 is going to be a great year, even though we've got weird things happening with, lawsuits in the US. We've got weird things happening with it being an election year next year in the US. We've got weird things happening with mortgage rates, and everybody's saying prices are going to crash and all this stuff. Affordability is at an all-time low for housing. So we're in a weird moment, but we still have 4 million transactions this year, even with all that happening. Next year, we're going to be somewhere around 4 million again, either somewhere between 3.8 and 4.2, I would imagine. And 2025 is going to be a real breakout year, in my opinion. But you've got to think career, not this year. Oh, how much money can I save this year? How much money can I make this year? You need to be thinking about how many people are going to find out about you and get to know you and remember you forever this year, right? And the more people that know you, everyone in your market needs to know who you are. Without that, you're not going to have a massive business. So that's what you need to be working towards, building your brand over the next couple of years. If you're, still building your business, if you're already there and you already have that level of business, then this is a great fit for you because you do nothing different. You come over here, you make way more money because of the equity and because of the collaboration with the higher level agents. So happy to work with you guys. Happy to talk to you. Happy to see if it's a good fit. And we appreciate your time today.
Can't put it better than that. Appreciate it. Thanks for the time, Ricky. If you're looking to book a call with us, the link will be below in the comments, or comment your email address. We'll connect with you that way. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.